Yes, what is going on, guys? My name is Tana. Welcome to Crypto Bible. I hope you're all very well. I thought I'd actually do like a more in-depth video for Trias. I know I've been posting over there on Twitter quite frequently, but obviously over there on Twitter, I can't post like really long videos. It just wouldn't let me do it. So I thought instead of giving you like little bits and pieces of things, I thought let me just go into depth and basically show you guys everything I'm seeing from short-term time frames to long-term time frames, short-term targets, long-term targets, etc., etc., just so we can kind of build a case of exactly what I am, looking for and hoping for Trias, because obviously whenever you do like a 30-second or a 1 minute video over there on Twitter, you can't really get everything out there that you really want to say. So this is what this video is for. I know a lot of people have been following me for Trias TA. So, hopefully this video can help you guys out a little bit more. So let's dive straight into it. Of course, the first thing that I've been doing a lot is, of course, using Fibonacci retracements, right? And if we place our fib over the top to our bottom right here, what you guys can see is that, these retracements are things that we need to take out, and it is typically where we will find the majority of our resistance going up. And these retracements have literally been coming in clutch for us because pretty much every retracement has been finding a lot of resistance. And over there on Twitter, I did say that the 0.702 right here would be our most important retracement level. Okay. It is typically an area where crypto finds a lot of resistance, and it literally goes for everything. It is an area where crypto will tend to consolidate under a lot. It's an area where crypto will tend to reject a lot of the time after a big run. But it's also an area where when you do end up breaking it, it just ends up, completely catapulting out of there. And I can show you some examples of the 0.702. If we take our fib off right here and you look at this over here, right? Our top, when we capitulated, where did we retrace back to? Typically, crypto tends to retrace back to that 0.702. Okay. So as you guys can see right there, if I zoom in on that, there was our top, there was our complete capitulation. Where did we retrace back to? Perfectly back to that 0.702. And I can show this on so many examples as well. If we even go over there to Bitcoin's previous top. So over here, if we go over here to what happened a few months ago, where did we top out at? We topped that out right here. Where did we capitulate to? We capitulated to right there. Where did we retrace back to? Right there to the 0.702. Okay. And then it rejected it and went down again. And the same goes for Bitcoin's previous top, even in 2017. And you'll find this in so many examples, right? Because I get asked about the Fibonacci retracements all the time. Okay. There's our top right there. We capitulated right there. Where did we retrace back to? The 0.702 before we went into a full year bear market. Okay. So the thing is with the 0.702, it's not an atypical fib. You would literally have to get your fib. You would have to double click it, scroll down to any of these empty ones and put in 0.702. Okay. So I recommend you guys do that. However, if we go back to our Trias chart over here, at the moment, we have actually just retraced back to that 0.702 on the daily chart. Okay, so if I put our fib right back on there right now, what you guys can see is that we are there at a 0.702, and as you can see, clear resistance right there. Now, if we zoom into the 4 hour, the reason why I love using these fibs as perfect examples of resistance going up and why they've been working so well, as you guys can see, if I obviously I'm on the 4 hour right now. We break above one, we find resistance at it. What do? We break above it, we turn it into support, go to the next one. There we go. We go to the next one, which this one would have been our 50% retracement. We break it, and as you guys can see, we find resistance at our next retracement, and then we're just bouncing around in it, finding resistance, support, resistance, support. What do? We end up breaking above it. We find resistance at the next fib, and all we're doing is finding support, resistance, support, resistance. So that's literally all we are doing right now. So there's your fibs right there. Perfectly done. We break the 0.382, we find support in it, go to the next one. We break the 50%, we find support on it, go to the next one. We break the 618, we find we retest it as support, find resistance at the next one. It's just so on and so forth, right? However, at this moment in time, the 0.702 is obviously, like I said in those examples, is a very, very important retracement level, and that is where we are at right now. Okay. One question I've been getting a lot of the time is, why don't I use log scale fibs? Okay, I see so many examples over there on Twitter of people using log scale fibs, and yes, they're very attractive. They give unbelievable price targets in the thousands, right? Which is great, but I like to be more realistic. And I've never used log scale fibs. I'll be completely honest, I never have used them. And if I actually just show you an example, if we click log down here, right, and then we zoom into the chart right now, I'll show you why I don't really, tend to use log scale fibs. So here is our chart now on log scale. Okay, if we get a fib now and we place it over, the first thing that we can see right here is the retracements are messy. If we zoom into it right here, there's not really a lot going on in there. Look, we broke above it, it's messy. We didn't hold it. We came back below it. We broke above it there again. And, everything is just so messy over here. And in regards to the log scale fibs as well, you can see we've broken all retracements. The last retracement is the 0.786. Well, if that's the case, we've already broken it on log scale fibs. Typically, what would happen once we've broken the last retracement is that it would typically just start heading towards its all-time high, relatively quickly, in most cases anyway. Well, as you can see right here, the retracements are very messy, and yeah, we would have already broken all retracements. And if you look at a final target when it comes to log scale fibs, it's all the way up there at $12,000. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I don't really use them. I never have. If we take the log scale off, and we just go back to our normal chart right here, which I've got to zoom all the way in now for, and then we get our Fibonacci retracement here. As you guys can see, we are still not even at the 0.786 retracement. The resistance levels have been coming in perfectly with this retracement level. The last retracement is at $25.6. That is what I would be personally expecting, around $25 to $25.50. Once we consolidate under that and break through it, then cool. That is what we would be looking for. And right now, all we are basically doing is just, building another base for us underneath this fib. And once we break through the 0.702, two things tend to happen. Either we would just fly past the 0.786, because typically that can happen under the 0.702. We break it and we fly past it. And when I say break it, I mean we have to close at least hourly candles above it. Okay, so if we can close hourly candles above $23, I would expect a pretty big move to the upside. Either we will get stuck at the $25 to $25.50 mark and consolidate under there, or we'll just be heading straight to new all-time highs. That is what I am typically expecting to happen with Trias. Okay, and in regards to like targets that I personally have, again, I like to use the retracements for resistance. I like to use extensions, Fibonacci extensions for my targets. All right, so if we zoom in on these, you can see all your targets here: 50, 79, 109, 127 being the final one. This does not mean I think Trias is going to just stop here. No, in most cases, you actually tend to get, wicks that take it quite above it, because what would happen once coins are up in here in a parabolic move is what you call FOMO. People will just start FOMOing in, a lot of volume will start coming in, and this will just keep going and going and going. But in regards to, those, $5,000, $10,000 price targets for Trias, even like above $1,000, I'm not in that bracket. Although I hope I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be a bear here or say, that's not going to happen. I don't want it to. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm doing is just trying to be very realistic with people and say these Fibonacci retracements have been working perfectly for Trias in regards to where our resistances are, right? And that doesn't mean, then that should also mean that these Fibonacci extensions should work the same. And hopefully they do work the same. What you'd end up getting is hopefully after breaking the all-time high, our next extension is up there at $50. We could find some resistance there and then break to the next one. Resistance there, break to the next one. That's how I am basically expecting things to go. Not exactly like that, but typically that is what would happen. So my personal final target for Trias would be around $120 personally. I will be keeping a moon bag in case I am wrong, because there's every chance in the world I will be wrong. But that is, these are basically my targets going up, and I'll be scaling out at each target. Okay. And I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, but I don't really care. I'm doing my own thing. At the end of the day, you've got to do your own thing. Okay, so that I just thought I'd just get that in there for you guys. Anyway, if we're looking at the short term price action, what we can see right here is that we've been actually consolidating here for a while. Okay, and if we're taking a look at this particular price level right here, okay, which we basically were stuck under for a while, we've obviously broken out of it now, and we are now basically finding support on top of this range that we had, which is bullish, because all you want to see with bullish momentum in any coin is breaking resistance and turning into support. That's exactly what Trias is doing right here. Okay, we're breaking resistance, turning into support. And right here, you can see that last night we did have some kind of capitulation happen, only like $1 or $2. It went as far down as $19.8. But as you guys can see, strong support coming in within this range. We had a fat candle back up there. But where did it get stuck at? Right there at that 0.702 that we've been speaking about again, okay? However, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not this could be a potential cup and handle playing out right here on the hourly chart. So what I mean by that is if we go over here and we take our cup, you can see right here that cool, we could have potentially just created a cup right here. And then a handle would be like this. Are we potentially creating a cup and handle right here? The only problem is that if this goes down anymore, that would be invalidated because the handle cannot come that far down for a cup and handle. But to be honest with you, it is just a matter of patience. We had patience over here when we were waiting for it to break that fib level. I kept going over and over on it on Twitter. Well, it's the same again at the 0.702. All I'm seeing is just some accumulation going on in here until we end up actually breaking through it. Okay. Now, one thing that I need to mention to you guys is obviously what would happen if Bitcoin does end up taking a little bit of a flash crash, because Bitcoin, it looks very undecided right now. Okay, people need to admit that we kind of stuck here. I see so many different predictions over there on Twitter. I see a lot of people doing this, drawing some lines like this, saying that we're in some kind of pennant right here. Are we going to break out? Are we going to break below? I don't know. Time will tell. In my personal opinion, we could potentially be in a ABC correction right here. What typically happens in ABC corrections is that you would retrace back to the 0.702 again after capitulation. And as you guys can see right there, if I just get my arrow, where's my arrow? Here it is. There's our top, there's our bottom. Wow, where did we retrace back to? To the 0.702. Now we're heading down again. And people need to remember ABC corrections in a bull market is very bullish. It is just a bearish pattern within a bullish momentum. Okay. So what you basically got here is a massive rise up and you've got an ABC correction. And what you've got right here, guys, if I show you my ABC, would be this. There's your A, there's your B back to the 0.702, and typically you would get a C leg that goes lower than the A leg. And where's that going to go? It can go anywhere as long as it goes below the A. Where does it make sense to go? Maybe within this area here, because there was quite a lot going on. So short term we could, and again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we could see a C leg down towards 55k. But what would follow after that, I would expect a big bounce and then go on to make new all-time highs for Bitcoin. Okay, you see ABC corrections happen all the time in Bitcoin, and they are just bullish reversal patterns, right? Again, you had one right here where people were scared. You got your A, you got your B, you got your C. What happened after that? We reversed and went up. Happens all the time, even in your biggest correction over here, right? Here you go. You got your A, you got your B, back to the 0.702 as I showed you. Then you got your C. And then what do? We reversed and started going up again. So I just thought I'd show you guys that. So what if Bitcoin does do that? What does that mean for Trias? Well, all I'm hoping for, Trias does have some kind of trend line going on here that it's been bouncing on top of. If we do something like that and we have some kind of flash crash, I'd be hoping for Trias to just kind of hold this trend line right here that it's been bouncing on top of. And if we do end up coming down, if that does happen anytime soon, you're probably going to be looking at around 19 and a half, 20, which would also mean we are still holding that range, right? That range we would still be holding if we end up coming down and retesting that trend line. So it's all looking bullish. If that does happen, that is like worst case scenario in my opinion. We could see maybe $19.5 with a big bounce back up. But right now, guys, in short, we are simply just battling that 0.702 retracement. And like I said, I mention over there on Twitter all the time, I got you guys ready for it because, I did believe that would happen. pinpoint touching a 0.702, $22.8. If we can get at least an hourly close above 23, we're looking golden for continuation to at least $25. Okay, so that's basically going to cover it for my Trias video. Hopefully you guys have learned something, and you kind of I'm showing you guys exactly what I expect. Although I get all of those big targets, I understand small circulating supply, etc., etc., etc. I'm one of those people that will follow what the chart tells me until I'm told otherwise. So if Trias ends up breaking the 4.236 extension and just keeps going and going and going, then cool, I was wrong about that being the final target. But until that time comes, we will assess it again. People calling for 30, 40, 50, 100x, whatever. Again, what people need to understand and realize is that only a few months ago, only down here in July, Trias was $2.3, $2.4. Well, $2.4 all the way to $128, well, $130, whatever it is. Where does that take you? How much of a percentage rise is that? Well, there you go. That's 5,728%. In a bull market in alt season, I would say that's pretty respectable. If you're talking about, if you're going to keep going all the way up to those $1,000 targets, I mean, I just can't sit here and comprehend that, in my opinion. 48,000% rise. I don't know about that. Again, I could be wrong, but whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please be sure to leave a like down below. If you're new here, please subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you're sharing the content around on Twitter. I would very much appreciate it. And again, big up all of you guys for following me and leaving very nice comments on my videos. It's been really nice to see, and I'm glad I'm able to help you guys. So yeah, I will see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy, people.